Live from the studio of his parents' basement, the Have You Seen It podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight. Sitting across from me is the one and only Cash Krause. But before we begin, if you guys could please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. So with that said, Cash, what are we reviewing today?
Oh, God. Well, Mason, it is February.
Oh, it is.
The landscape for film is
how do you
dire.
know? Yeah, I was going to say, how do you know it's February?
Yeah, because there's absolutely nothing to see right now.
God.
Unless you're catching up for movies from last year.
Yeah.
But, oh, boy, do we have a stinker on our hands,
Man,
my guy.
do we have a fucking stinker on our hands.
Yes, we do.
It is absolutely awful.
There you go. It's a stinker,
There
my
it
friend.
is.
That's a stinker button, and that's when you
This
know
is
it's bad.
Yeah, that's when you know. We don't do sound bites on this
Not very
podcast,
often.
but when we do, it's well deserved.
It is. It's warranted.
Holy fucking shit. We are reviewing Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 2022 film directed by David Blue Garcia. And boy, was this a shit fest.
Oh, David Blue. My guy,
Dude.
my guy.
You would have been better off not making this film.
For
I'm just
sure.
going to start off right now. Now keep in mind, I didn't have like high expectations for it, but the expectations I did have, I was beyond disappointed.
Yeah, I kind of did have high expectations just with the current landscape of remakes we've been getting have all been pretty good.
Yes.
Halloween has been good. The Evil Dead was good. Scream was good.
Yep.
And speaking of Evil Dead, this film is produced by Fede Alvarez, who directed the new Evil Dead, which was pretty awesome.
Yep.
Also directed Don't Breathe, which was awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
So I kind of had high hopes for this film. I thought this is the time. Netflix got it. They got a hold of it. Oh boy, did they!
Oh my
That's
God.
a death sentence these days. If Netflix is buying your film, you might as well just say, "Hey, better idea. Let's not shoot it. Let's not do it."
Let's just not make this film.
Yeah.
And like on every single aspect of this film, Cash, I cannot wait to break down thing by thing that you and I had a problem with.
I was hoping if at least, because high expectations mean I was hoping at least if it's going to be bad, it could be good. Where there could be some fun kills, there could be something we could laugh about or whatever. But this movie was
abysmally
just
bad.
abysmal.
Yeah.
One of those where it's like, hey, let's just not make this one, guys.
Well, in literally 40 minutes into it, I'm just rolling my eyes. I'm like, this is just awful.
Yeah, well, when I heard the first line of dialogue, I thought, was this written by a machine? Was this written by an AI? It was
just so on the nose too, and like the dialogue was awful and corny. Like, oh, don't say anything. You're gonna get us all killed with the whole gun thing, and mine is bigger. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, what the fuck kind of film is this gonna be?
Before we dive nose
Deep
deep into
into
this,
this.
knuckle deep, let's talk about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Okay?
Let's do it.
The franchise, all right?
Okay.
No franchise has been rebooted, redone, sequeled, prequeled more than the Texas Chainsaw. This is a franchise they cannot get right.
No.
There's never been a successful, they've been successful in meaning they made money. There's never been a well-received Texas Chainsaw Massacre besides the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 1974 one, which we will be reviewing
Next.
So look out for that.
Look out for that.
But
We may have different opinions on that one than this.
so there has been 9 entries so far into the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre has gone through a lot of hands, a lot of production companies. The original production company, I don't even know, they made like 4 films, and then Platinum Dunes got it, which of course is Michael Bay's production company, got it in the early 2000s when he was snatching things up and making shitty horror sequels. This was one of them. So he made one, then he made 2, and then Millennium Studios got it. They have the right to make 5 Texas Chainsaw Massacres.
Jeez.
They made one that did horrible in 2017, and they lost all rights because they didn't make that movie fast enough. So a lot of the time, you'll get the rights, but it'll be like, you have to make this amount.
Right.
Like the Lord of the Rings series.
Lord of the Rings, exactly.
So they said you had to make a series in 5 years, or we keep all your fucking money and you don't have the rights anymore. That's what happened to Millennium Studios is They lost the fucking rights. They had the rights for 5 films, and they lost it because how bad they did in 2017. With I think that one was just called Leatherface.
Yeah.
So this franchise has been everywhere, all over the fucking map. It took 10 years to make a sequel to the first one, but after they made that Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, they pumped these suckers out, and it's the most simple premise in the world.
It's so simple. I don't understand how people screw it up.
Hillbilly family out in Texas. Yeah. It's just scary on its own. That premise alone. They're also cannibals. Mm-hmm. They like to make furniture out of bodies. They're very scary. Yeah. Just that. No one can make a decent sequel to this film.
No, and I gotta say, like those early 2000 ones compared to this, way better.
Well,
way
just
better.
the 2003, not the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
The one with the famous cop, that guy who went all crazy and shit.
Well, I believe he was in the sequel to that one as well, which was not good.
Yeah.
But that was 2003. That was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which has been a couple of those.
Yeah, there have been.
The sequel to that one was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning. You don't see you don't see
Twice
two
in the
thus.
title?
Only in the early 2000s.
Imagine the Bahubali,
It's the
the beginning.
It's the attack of the. Yeah. It's word jumble. People don't like it. I don't like it either. But this one is retconning all those. Mm-hmm. It's saying this is the fucking true sequel.
Yeah, this is a true sequel to the 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes.
And God, we would have been a better world without it.
Done 50 years later. Mm-hmm. Leatherface is old. He's old at this point. Though you wouldn't think it watching this. He's running like he's
full
a
speed.
marathon
He's
runner.
running faster than these people are. And I'm like, what?
And that's something that I hated so much about this film. It's like they didn't even watch the first film.
No.
It's like they had no idea. They didn't know the spirit. They're just like, they saw like the pop culture, the whole thing, Leatherface. They said, let's make a movie about that. It's famous. It's popular. They did not get any of the themes right from the first one.
No.
It was so bad. It's horribly written. It's unbelievable that this film got made.
And that Netflix picked it up. Why? Why did you pick this up?
I can't because it was $20.
Yeah,
probably.
it's seriously. The rights must have been like $500,000 because this is just awful, dude. We got to jump into it.
Is this the sequel you want? Is this
No.
the Halloween-esque reboot?
No, I would have rather not even seen a new one
Because
I'm more mad than happy that they actually made another one.
I can't even believe anyone said this is the actual sequel. Like, you can't say this is the actual sequel.
No, fuck no.
They need to go back, do it all over again.
Yep.
Because let's just jump into it.
Let's do it.
It's 50 years after. Leatherface, he'd be in his 70s. If he
Mid to late 70s.
If he was 19 at the time,
Yeah.
I believe he'd be in his 70s.
Which he looked more like 27, 28. He looked like an older man.
Gunnar
in the
Hansen
original
was
one.
27 who played him.
Yeah.
A little old. Yeah. He would have been a pretty old. And I think they say he's 60 in this one, which means he would have been like 12. Which, again, that's the most basic continuity.
Right. You figure you would at least looked at that for continuity and been like, oh, hey, guys, maybe we want to call him 70.
That's the wild thing. They didn't at all. Nothing connects at all to the...
Nothing does.
Nothing.
And even the story of like, oh, this
besides
family.
the girl, which...
But they didn't even use the girl. They didn't even use her. And it was like such a weird character where you like...
It could have been played by anyone. Like, that did not have to be Nancy from the original.
No.
Or
no, she died. The original one died. The original
But I'm saying
died.
that did not need to be the same character. That could have been anyone.
Oh, exactly.
We're giving no reference at all that lady was from the original.
Right, except for a little Polaroid picture she had. And it's like, you didn't even have to do that. You could have just done the fucking sheriff or whatever. Like, it's, oh my God. So, I don't even know where to begin because this film's just so frustrating for me all the way around. But, and I don't like to shit on actors because scripts can be really bad, but the acting was not great in this at all.
You couldn't. I mean, maybe a good actor could have done something with this, but there's nothing there for these people. There's
to work with
absolutely no substance to this script. No. I mean, you could have tried to ad-lib some things, I guess, but even then.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this. Was the original directors were two brothers. They were fired after the first week of production. Not the first week after pre-production.
Creative differences. Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
maybe they wanted to actually make a good film. That's why they got fired for it?
I'm sure they had a much, much different take on whatever this shit turned out to be. But they got some guy, some scab to come in and finish it up. Surprised it wasn't Ron Howard. But he came in.
Just coming out in between a whole film. Doesn't matter what it is.
Movie have done, huh? I'll finish this and take full credit.
Good or
I love
bad.
shitting on Ron Howard. But yeah, so already a fucking mess. The film shot in Bulgaria. If films are shot in Bulgaria, there's a long list of them, are always so fucking shitty because it's so cheap to shoot in Bulgaria for some reason. They like give you all kinds of tax credit or something because it's probably super corrupt. But a ton of films shoot in Bulgaria, but like shitty sequels, like The Wrong Turn 2 was shot in Bulgaria.
Oh, I heard that one was horrible.
No, not the newest The Wrong Turn
okay.
2. Yeah. Because Bulgaria kind of looks like Virginia, and like you can make it look like Texas, I guess. But this didn't look like Texas at all because they're in the middle of a city the entire time. Yeah. Anyways, so 60 years after, we get no build up to Leatherface at all.
None.
Zero. Like what Halloween does so well is they build the new one. They build Michael Myers up. I mean, we get him in the insane asylum. We get him slowly turning back to that Michael Myers.
Yeah.
This one, he just goes
and that's
0 to 100.
Yeah, see, that was the thing that just frustrated me, where it was like, as you said, no character development, no like build up at all. It was just a matter of, oh, okay, now we're in the car, and boom, now the violence is happening. And I'm like, what the? There was nothing. You could have literally thrown any like villain or anything. You could have made this movie anything, and it didn't even have to be Leatherface. It was just so bland and generic.
Yeah, it could have just been a slasher film.
It's like a great value film, dude.
Yeah, it's let's talk about the premise. The premise is fucking wild. Is this guy, I guess he's a chef / influencer, because this movie tries to do social commentary.
It does. And fails.
It tries. I don't know why it tries. The original film didn't try to do that.
Not at all. No,
that's
not what it was about.
But this film tries to do social commentary and like social media and even school shootings.
School shooting? I know. I'm just like, do we have to add all this into this?
Why are you biting off so much?
Yeah.
This film sets out to accomplish everything.
And it could have just been so simple. I mean, that's the premise of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original one.
It's just completely random. Yeah.
We could have done the exact same thing in a modern day version. And, maybe one or two twists here, and it would have been just fine. But, like, they started, like, adding all these elements of social media and then building your own town and then doing this and that. And then the orphanage. What the fuck was even the orphanage about?
No idea. Orphanage in the middle of this goddamn city. They have an orphanage. It's like a town of 1,000 people. How many orphans do you have? How many people are giving up kids in a town of 100?
Yeah.
It's like... That town is so small, these orphans are running into their parents so that they've given up.
They give it up. Yeah. There's like 35, 40 kids in this orphanage in the photos of the 1975.
There's got to be only 40 kids in the whole town.
Yeah.
It literally says a town of 3,000. That's like we grew up in a town. Imagine our town having a
giant orphanage. You're like, what? This doesn't make sense.
Why are we giving up so many people? Yeah.
Must be.
Anyways, that's not even the dumbest part. So the dumbest part is it's a chef. He's like an influencer, I guess. He's somehow got a group of people in to buy a town.
To buy a ghost town.
I can't even get my friends to go in on a pizza together.
Right.
Let alone this guy found 40 people to buy a town. They're just buying a town.
To live in.
Think of the logistics.
Oh, I have.
Do they have homes? Are they buying houses? Are they are they living in these businesses? You have to have structure.
Of course you have to have structure.
Why would anyone visit this town just to fucking because there's a bunch of people?
And ironically enough, they literally said that in the film. They're like, well, this town's 7 hours in a car drive. I guess I'll never see my friends again.
But people are going to go out of their way because there's 20 hipsters living there. There's a lot of towns like that.
Then that whole town was just businesses. Like, there was no home, as you just brought up. There's no homes or anything. And it's like, well, how logistically do you accomplish this, like, dream town that you're trying to
You think of it for more than a half a minute and your brain breaks.
It does.
The writing is so fucking stupid. And not even that, but they're like, auction. Who are they bidding against? They're all buying parts of this town.
I know. And it's like, it's a ghost town to begin with.
Like, oh, I want the dilapidated gas station. Okay. I'm like, why are we bidding against each other for this? It makes no sense. And it's not even like, I don't even know why we're getting into it, but it's the entire premise of the movie.
It is. Ironically enough.
How they get 40 people into this murder town is the prospect of buying this entire town.
Well, here's another concept. So you're here to buy a town.
It just doesn't happen in real life.
No, it doesn't. But you're here to buy a little town, right?
Yeah.
And this is the first time you've been there, and now you're having a group of investors. You didn't go and check out the property before.
It's not even that little of a town. It's not. I mean, it says it's 3,000 people, but it's multiple blocks.
Yeah.
You need hospitals. You need policemen.
Police.
You need
fire departments.
You need someone. You need plumbers.
Exactly. All the pipes are probably worn out. It's a ghost town. You need shitters and stuff.
They're
Like,
just thinking that I'll buy this old firehouse, turn it into a cupcake stand, and people will come. Who's running the power?
Yeah. No idea. No idea. All those questions just, oh yeah, we're buying it.
Turn it on, flip it on.
Literally just the laziest writing of all time. Just.
But the fact that it doesn't even warrant talking about, but how difficult it is to make movies these days. The fact that something like this goes from script to screen. Someone along the way had to be like, whoa, let's slow down. This thing's a piece of shit.
Yeah, a terrible screenplay. But the problem is with these big...
But screenplay probably wasn't that bad.
Whew.
Well, I mean, originally.
Oh, originally.
But once they started going, they make tons of changes, change everything. Because I heard originally one of the characters was going to be in a wheelchair. Like in the original, one of the characters was going to be in a wheelchair. And that was like the whole thing of the brothers coming in. And I guess they were just changes after changes after changes. A week of changes was like enough to be like, we're getting the fuck. Because the directors had enough forethought to be like, we got to get the fuck out of here.
Right. This is not going to be good for us in our career. And they were right on.
We may never get the opportunity to make a film again, but we can't make this film.
Right. Especially with all those changes.
We got to go. Yeah.
Well, and see, and that would have been something great. Like, again, you want to bring back the original pieces, and like a guy in a wheelchair would have been just fine. Had the story actually
if you
made
make it
sense.
work, yeah.
Yeah.
And I get that for a huge budget film, but this film did not look like it was made for a huge budget. So why are so many different people involved in the making of this film?
No idea.
When the film looks like it was made for $2 million. Yeah. I don't even understand.
Well, and even the kills, which we'll jump into, but God.
Yeah. So anyways, a whole bunch of young kids, and these kids, of course, are just the most surface level millennials. They're pieces of shit, all of them. None of them have redeemable quality. No. Only on their phones. It's so weird. They buy this town. They own this town, but they're partying in this bus that they came on, like this shitty Greyhound.
They're all partying in there with their little purple and blue lights.
Guys, we own the town now.
Guys, no, we can party in the town. That's actually the cool thing about
literally
owning
run
a
in
town.
any building, we own it.
We own everything here.
Everything. You can own, and the lights are on in this town always. For some reason, they never shut them up.
Never do. That's again, yeah. That's that. Even that, like all the lights being on in the town. How? These light bulbs still work?
Well, remember, there's one shitty Texan. He drives a big truck, remember? He loves guns. He's decked out in guns.
Of course he is, always.
He's like a pirate. He's got 9 guns on him. He's the most Texan you've ever.
Could it be any more stereotypical?
If a guy never went to Texas and was like, write me a Texan character. I got you, guy.
A big, bright red truck with double exhaust in the back, guns on his hip.
Shooting guns everywhere he goes.
Has big old tobacco in his lip. Like, God,
hates anyone that comes into his town immediately.
Of course, yep. Hates everyone.
Immediately. It's like the worst written red herring of all time. Yeah. Like for maybe a fraction of a second, they're like, for 1 second, we're going to make you think this is the bad guy, and then abandon that immediately. Because the script is changing daily here.
It is. We actually don't even know what the fuck we're doing. We are writing it as we go.
I wanted to know more about the production, but there's very little written about this production. No.
There had to have been. I mean, there's probably so much embarrassment surrounding this film.
I'm guessing probably the Bulgarian government erased all evidence that
this even existed. This was not filmed in our country.
We got to wipe this thing
from existence.
So yeah, insane. Just the first 5 minutes, you're like, well, what the fuck? This is not real life. No, this is not real. This is completely everything's taking me out of this film. Mm-hmm. Everything. The characters you're supposed to like are so fucking unlikable. They're unbearable. The 2 main girls,
The sisters.
Yeah, I mean, the one main sister is semi-likable. You get maybe 5 minutes with her. You get a lot of flashbacks that she was in a school shooting, because every millennial has been in a school shooting.
Every single one. Oh, for sure.
That's just how it is these days. You know, we were ducking bullets every fucking
We
day.
were. We dodged a few of them. We got lucky. Not a lot of people do.
It's so fucking wild what this movie is setting out to do and not achieving any of it.
None of it.
Like, this movie thought it was going to be something. Like, this is the fucking movie. People are going to slow down and be like, whoa, this is art.
And then they show up to the town, right? And then, of course, they see the Confederate flag, which I already saw that coming. I already knew that was going to happen.
I'm thinking
So they go
only
up there.
one Confederate flag
I know.
in this town. Like, that's pretty lucky.
good. Yeah.
So this guy barges into this house. Of course, he does believe that they own it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, of course they don't own it. There's an old lady. We're not giving any reference to who this old
Well, and
lady
you saw
is.
Leatherface for a split second sitting in the chair when he reaches for the thing and then he's gone.
At first, I thought it was so lame and so badly done and not brought up at all. I thought, man, that can't be Leatherface. No. That's the introduction we're gonna get.
It's like nodding off. Like, what? He really is an old man.
Yeah, like that's the first scene we're gonna get a Leatherface.
Yeah, and it definitely was. I didn't think it was Leatherface either when I
thought
first
for
watched
sure
it.
they had to be pretending.
Yes.
Not even that, but they tell you statewide manhunt for this guy.
It's still on after 50 years. We don't know what the hell
He
happened
just
to
moved
him.
closer into the city.
And no one noticed?
The whole time you're watching this movie, I kid you not, you're thinking, oh, I missed something.
Yep.
I missed a scene. But you probably did, because it was probably just cut out. Because this film feels like it's starting in the middle of a movie.
Yeah.
There's so little build up to any of these characters that
Well,
you're
there's
like,
no build up to, as you brought it before, there's even no build up to Leatherface at all. So they get in this house, an altercation ensues. The Texas police, the Rangers show up, and they grab the old lady, and of course Leatherface gets in the car with her. And like, that's how Leatherface was introduced too, is like, oh, I'm just gonna pick her up and put her in the car.
he's this guy that everyone knows about too. They're like,
Yeah.
that's just his son.
And how would you not put two and two together? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre had a very distinct body.
Well, and we were talking about, like, how did he get in? Because they show pictures of him as an orphan. But we know from the original movie he lived with a family.
Right.
And he looked like he was 20-something. So if I'm doing the math right,
Yeah.
he went to an orphanage in his 20s and they raised him from there. Because it shows him with other kids. But it doesn't say, like, he was the worker or anything.
No.
He's in a school photo.
Yes. With his face kind of etched out. But that was in 75. But the original took place in 74. And he was at
would
that
have been
house.
a 30-year-old in an orphanage.
Yeah.
And no one is batting an eye.
It's just like, dude, you are right. Like, I swear to God, they didn't even watch the original film.
Yeah.
I don't think any of those bigwig producers or anything even bothered watching it. There's no continuity.
Yeah, and it just, I mean, the more I think about it, again, my brain is scrambled. It's like I watched Inception for the first time. Like, am I an idiot?
Am I imagining things? I don't know what the hell's going on.
There are movies that are so bad that they, again, the disbelief that this could possibly even someone could be on the cutting room floor and be like, yeah, let's go, let's print this thing.
Yeah.
It just hurts your head.
It does.
But yeah, no continuity at all.
None.
Well, his family even lived in the first one. Only one guy died.
Yeah.
Just the brother. He was fine. Why was he in an orphanage
I
now?
have no idea. And what about the cop and everyone else he was
And why
living
couldn't
with?
the cops go to the house? It doesn't make any sense.
Like, I just do this.
Yeah,
For the
that's
people
all you
watching
can
on
do.
video. Because, like, dude, like, again, they didn't answer any of it. And
Yeah.
it would have been nice to have even a little backstory on how they were able to escape the house or whatever. Because
Yes.
clearly,
I thought
in
for
the original,
sure.
you don't think she would tell the cops, oh, this was the house that I was out, where all of this took place.
And how do you do sequel and show none of that?
None of it.
Show how he got away. Show a little bit of what happened to her. Name's Sally, by the
Sally,
way, not
yeah.
Nancy. Nancy is from Elm Street.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Sally,
Get
whatever. But
get these final girls mixed
I
up.
know.
But yeah, I thought for sure we're gonna get answers.
Nothing. It's like they
It's
didn't
not a
even
sequel.
attempt.
It's not a sequel.
No, it's not. I refuse to call this a sequel. This is fucking a heaping pile of dog shit.
But yeah, no reference at all of how, like, why the cops didn't go in there. That's what, at least the 2003 remake or whatever shows, like, the cops went in there and destroyed that family.
Yeah.
They lit him up. They killed everyone. He was the only one left.
At least they showed it, though.
Exactly. But showing that he just magically teleported from that farmhouse to this orphanage
With no
and
context.
no one batted an eye and be like, oh, looks like the orphanage got a new 25-year-old 6'4"
gorilla.
Doesn't look like a 12-year-old like the other kids.
No, he doesn't.
But they just let him live out. And yeah, like eventually the old gal dies. And they're so scared that this death of this old lady's going to be pinned on them. They did nothing wrong.
They did nothing wrong. She was on oxygen. She had heart disease. I mean, clear as day.
They literally did think that they owned the town.
Yeah.
And for all reference, we think that they did.
Yeah.
It never goes back and shows that he was wrong.
Yeah, she checked the deed or whatever and started crying, but like that's an old piece of paper. So it's like, is that even valid? But they don't even bother to show that.
Yeah, and not only that, but the cops came in and they said, hey, we kicked you out of here. Mm-hmm. So the cops had to have been shown a deed.
The cops were in on it, yeah.
If anything, it's the cops 100% forcing that lady, giving her a heart attack. But anyways, the whole thing collapses. She dies. Maybe the one cool scene we get was him cutting off her face, which whoever this lady is, we have no fucking clue what the connection is.
Nope.
Besides that she owned the house. Does she know he's Leatherface? Does he know? I don't know what's going on.
And I guess kind of, because she was like, oh, don't go back to your old ways. Well,
who are you, lady?
Yeah. Like, what is the relationship here? So you just took care of him and you knew he was a psychopathic killer? Like, what?
He's completely mute, by the way. You're not getting a story out of him.
No, of course not.
So she would have to have done some digging to figure out the way. I mean, but I thought that maybe was a cool scene is him, and they really show the scene a lot in the promotion. Was him in like the sunflower field or whatever.
Yeah, the dried up sunflower field.
They showed even like the picture on Netflix is him poking his little head up. It's kind of cute.
It's cute. Yeah. He tried to put some makeup on her and all.
And I kind of like those scenes because that's like what was creepy about the first one. It was like you never knew why he was doing this, but there's something very off with this guy clearly. I mean,
yeah, obviously.
But man, do they just like, I don't know, abandon that. I mean,
yeah, they just abandoned everything, and it just turned into like this over the top, unrealistic slasher where everyone is fucking stupid as all can be.
And I get you gotta up the kills, obviously, with this day and age. You can't.
But I disagree because like the best horror films are the ones where it's 4 or 5 people. I mean, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre was something that they captured.
No, I don't mean up the kills. I mean up the brutality of the kills.
Oh, okay.
The original 1974 one shows very little blood at all. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, you gotta up the brutality, which I don't mind. That's what the new Halloween does. I don't mind.
And I'm fine with that.
You still gotta base them in reality.
Correct.
The snapping of the guy's arm, I don't think made a lot of sense to me.
No, because he just went grabbed and
then in the throat.
Yeah.
Again, I liked him cutting off her face or whatever.
Yeah,
it would have been better if we knew, is this some like a mother character or whatever. I like that, but man, they just missed the mark on the whole. Just the tone of the first one with like setting it up with like the graveyard robberies and stuff. You could have done that again and being like 50 years later, another spur of these graveyard. It's been 50 years and now all of a sudden we're getting all these. Now Leatherface he's coming back, you know, he's again. And now maybe he goes back to the house after all this time and he starts to get, he starts decorating the house again. He starts to get the family back together. Why not go that route?
I don't know. Cash, I swear to God, you and I could sit in the studio for 2 hours and write better fucking screenplay than what was.
I could go in the bathroom right here and shit something out, and we could put that on film.
We could polish it up, and it would look better.
And I promise you, that would have been a better movie. But, anyways, and they're driving a long ways. He wrecks a car, and then he's back in the town. He must have walked miles. I don't know how.
But he got there pretty fast, right?
Don't forget, 78-year-old man at this point. He's running like you've never seen him before,
dude. Just. Full steam ahead.
Not even like a key grip or something had to be on the set. Me like, guys, does it make a lot of sense?
This guy's almost 80 and he's running this fast. And
but I got the producer probably like, no, but it's a young guy playing him.
Right, you get that, right? He's actually 45.
You're the idiot.
Just so shut up and hold the lights.
Yeah, our guy can run, but you're not understanding. Yeah. No, he is spry as you fucking believe.
Yes, he is.
Something great about Michael Myers, he never sprints.
Nope.
He can be an old man and still do these things.
Yep.
And you You could still be an old man and still, kill people. Mm-hmm. But you don't have to be. He's running. He does a lot of running in this.
Well, in
more than the original guy does.
Yes,
and a lot of throwing
heavy objects as if they're nothing.
Yeah, and we have no idea what's driving this guy.
No.
Why after all this time, all of a sudden now, I mean, just because the old lady died? The old lady that we have no connection to?
Bro, I got to get to some really stupid shit in this film. And there's a lot of it. So, Sally...
I know,
but...
I never want to talk more about this.
About a bad film.
So fucking bad.
Because it was so infuriating the whole time watching this.
Yeah.
I was just like, dude, this is... Please get over with. So, I got to talk about this. Because this is one that I would feel terrible if I didn't talk about it. Sally gets this big revelation. Oh, he's back, right? You could have done the thing Jamie Lee Curtis where it was actually good in the sequel.
Bill her up,
the first
show
one.
how damaged she is. We don't get any of that at all.
Nope. Just she still got the Polaroid picture, still hanging out, right?
She's living in a farmhouse for some reason. Yeah. Maybe she's close to the town. Maybe she isn't. Maybe she lives in fucking Virginia. I don't know where the hell she...
We have no idea. We have no context of what
maybe
her
she's
life was.
Completely moved away from this now and she's living a good life. Not at all, of course.
Nothing. Nope. We just get a shot of her throwing guns in the back.
She becomes a Terminator.
Truck. Yep.
You boops on.
I am now awake.
Yeah. Must kill Leatherface.
I knew he would come back. It's just
all his characters are like, bro. Yeah.
And so literally the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in any film. And I'm skipping around a little bit, but I just got to get this off my chest. So she walks up the stairs. She's got the shotgun pointed right at Leatherface.
This is after she's locked the main characters into the truck.
Let's
get the fuck out of here. They hop in. She goes, beep, beep, sorry. Why the fuck would you let him run?
Well, and then later on, after the whole scenario that I'll talk about.
She goes, you can't run.
Yeah, you can't run, but here are the keys.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here.
No continuity. But anyway, so she walks up there and she looks at Leatherface. She's like, naming all the people that he killed in the original, and then was like, do you know who I am? You remember me? Say something. She's got the gun pointed right at him. A fucking shotty. Could have finished the job. And she just lets him walk down the stairs.
No, lets him walk blocks away. And then for some reason, he gets outside. Now she's ready to shoot.
Now she wants to shoot him. Bro, I was just like, what the... Of
course he doesn't remember you. He's mentally
ill. Severely ill. And not only that, but like...
He's not like Michael Myers,
Yeah.
He's not like imprinted on you.
No, it's just the idea that you would not finish the job. That's what you've been waiting for 50 years, and you literally at point blank range let him just walk down the stairs as if it's nothing, and then you're like 5 minutes later, you're like, I have to kill Leatherface.
Let's do it now. Again. Yeah, why? What was the development from there to there that showed us that she needs to kill him now?
Well, she was just so traumatized that he didn't remember her that she couldn't pull the trigger. What kind of writing is that?
What did she want him to do? Whip that Sally! Oh my God, it's been so long. What is he gonna do?
Hey, I remember when I almost got you? I almost got you.
Look at us now.
Look at us now. We're old two couple.
What did she want?
People. I don't know.
What the fuck did she want out of that? It's so stupid. I gotta talk about the dumbest part though, and I'm gonna skip to the very end. Okay. Yeah. The dumbest part is the self-driving car. Yeah. I can't even. So
I was just glad. I wanted them all to die. I'm not gonna lie.
So the very end, they're in like, this is another maybe like technology has gone too far or something, but because remember at the end of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they're driving away.
Yes.
Not by a robot. A human man is driving a truck.
Correct.
Yeah. And he's got a good reason to be driving away, scared.
Well, he's terrified, yeah.
Yeah. In this one, it's at the very end. Sally's been chainsawed in half. Probably still kicking. Because she does not die.
We gotta talk about that.
But they're driving away. It's the very end. They think Leatherface is dead. It's the climax has ended. They did the final blow. He's sunk in through the swamp water. They think he's dead, right? For some fucking reason, they go autopilot on the car. They don't drive. For some reason, they don't. So the Tesla goes 2 miles an hour. It's in the city, of course. For some reason, autopilot is the way to go right now. Not even thinking, of course, autopilot, you got to have your hand on the wheel the whole time. It's so, but these guys, they're new to Earth. They're Martians. So the car's driving. It's beep, beep, beep. Okay, we're going 2 miles. It's got to clear the full block to make sure it's ready to go. It goes so fucking slow. And it's like, you would think it was like Star Trek, where once they set a destination, that car has the fucking 300 miles an hour. We can't stop it. It's a warp drive. We can't stop. So they're going slow. It's 2 miles like a rascal. Mm-hmm. Leatherface, of course, he catches up. Can't end it right there. Catches up, pulls one of the girls out, cuts her head off. Thank fucking God.
Thank God. She was annoying the hell out of me anyway.
But it's like the car is locked. She jumps out of the sunroof.
The sunroof.
Like she's like clawing at the car. Like, stop the car. Stop the car. Meanwhile, the car's done. It's in. It's going.
No,
it's
going. You can't stop it. Once it starts, it doesn't stop. When you put the end destination, you will get to that destination.
So not even thinking that you gotta like do the steering wheel. That it's like she can't. She's like she can't even stomp on the brake. She can't do it.
She's instead clawing.
The car is still going 5 miles an hour. Still, she could have hopped out. She could have done.
Well, and how agile Leatherface was, he probably could have chased down that car going 5 miles an hour.
Well, how about get it out? I don't know. It's stop. I know it's really hard to stop once in autopilot, but breaking that bitch out of autopilot, flipping her around, hitting Leatherface a couple of times. Right. You're in a car at this point.
Yeah,
he's not gonna, pick the car up. He's still at this point somewhat human.
Yeah,
he's pretty injured.
I would say so.
Run him down, but autopilot, man. It was so. I mean, like, could no one be on that set and have been like snickering or something?
They had to have been. I mean, there had to have been guys who were just like, thank God I'm not in this. I'm just working on this in the background, holding lights and stuff. Because this film is going to be
But I would not want to be even in the production crew of the credits at the end. No.
Like when they give you like a little jacket at the end of every film.
I doubt they do jackets
that away. Well, they're like little sweatshirts or whatever.
They probably would. I mean, it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Of course, they're probably giving some kind of merch out or whatever.
I'd have thrown it away in disgrace. So I got to talk about this too, and this is going long, but it's deserved for how shitty this is. Sally gets impaled. Okay, we'll talk about the bus scene. We'll graze over it. Are these people all just stupid? There's 30 people on this bus.
They own the town, partying on the Greyhound for some reason. Makes 0 sense. Own the entire city. We just spent all of our money on this city. Let's go back in the fucking Greyhound. And what was the bus driver asleep?
He was asleep at the wheel.
I think the writing was so bad. They're like, we don't have anything for you to do. Just like that's all bus drivers are. They only ride bus.
And how about the one chick? She sees the other guy, Dante. His face is all fucked up. He's dead. And she's like, oh, just get back on the bus. Just get back on the bus.
Start that bus.
That's it. Yeah. Start that bus. Let's get the fuck out of here. Someone was just murdered. No, instead she's like, just get on the bus.
Well, and the bus driver, like you hear a creak. He turns the bus off. He immediately runs out of there. We're just telling you this whole thing. You know why we're removing the bus. Because we're being chased.
Because we're being chased by a serial killer.
Yeah, that's why we woke you from your slumber, Mr. Bus Driver.
Doesn't even have a name, Mr. Bus Driver.
Yeah. This guy might as well have been faceless.
And bro, how the stupidest fucking script writing of all time.
So the millennials, they only know cell phones.
They only know cell phones. So literally, even Leatherface walks in,
chainsawing a guy in half.
People are still recording.
I gotta get the angle.
And then these people are so stupid. There's 30 plus people there, and no one attempts to escape.
No one's going over seats.
Or trying to stop Leatherface. They're all just like,
they go to the back of the bus immediately for some reason. Yeah.
All of them. Like sardines. Like fucking idiot fish.
And it's a tight aisle.
It is.
Pop the seats, guys.
Pop the seats. Attack him. Someone do something.
30 people.
30 people.
One gal does get away. Does hop a seat.
She does.
She's there. Door right here.
Door right there.
Door right here. Door's open. Door's still open. It's never stopped being open. Never stopped being open. She's right there. And window. Window wasn't open.
No, wasn't open. She had to open
manually bus window. She gotta go.
As Leatherface is right there.
He's like, it's even for he like takes a moment and be like, this is This
he
is
does.
easy.
He takes a moment.
This is easy. He's
and
like,
he goes, this is too easy.
he's like, what? It's like, this is like shooting fish in a barrel.
All right. Cuts her in half.
Of course.
Obviously, intestines everywhere. Her front half falls out of the bus. It's just that whole scene, that whole thing. And yeah, it was over the top gore and whatever. If you like gore.
But that scene could have been written to be cool.
Could have been awesome. Yeah.
Had they maybe took a party bus down there, not a Greyhound.
Right.
Had just simple writing could have made this. Had that bus scene be a little more choreographed, where people were running over the seats and he's grabbing
And
people,
throwing people.
and he's slamming them, and it could be just them doing whatever it takes to get him, and they are attacking him, or something,
or trying to defend
Instead,
themselves.
they're just there to die.
It's just so corny and cheesy. And stupid.
They're just bodies to drop.
So I want to go to Sally real quick, and then I'll shut the fuck up about this movie.
Yeah.
And we need to. But so Sally finally gets this break, right? And now she has an epiphany. Oh, I want to kill Leatherface again. After getting a point blank range upstairs and not doing it. So she goes, she's shooting at him, blah, blah, blah. Oh no, where's Leatherface? We have no idea now. He comes out.
She holds her up.
Holds her up for like 30 seconds. The chainsaw
She's literally
is
just
going.
Blood.
Like the severity of those wounds, you would die instantly. Your lungs are fucked. Your heart's fucked.
You're hitting
it's
everything.
The center mass.
It's also
your
it's
spine.
chainsaw just tearing things up.
Yeah, it's just tearing everything.
It's not a clean cut.
No, of course not.
And it's going
like,
through the spine, severing all nerves.
Everything.
You have no control of your body parts at this point.
None at all. And like literally holding her up for 30 seconds, and he flings that bitch off, and she falls into a pile of rubble. Garbage.
Trash, yeah. She is trash.
She is trash. The
With
film
this
is
film,
trash. Maybe it was an analogy for how
yeah.
shitty the film was. 10 minutes later, after like Leatherface is chasing the two sisters and shit, she's still fucking alive. And she's
alive.
not just living. She's not just alive. She's
giving advice.
breathing, she's giving advice. I'm like, this. It was so comically
this bitch
bad.
wants to tell them right now to not run.
Right.
Well, yeah. Well, you mean you kind of screwed us on that. I mean, we could have ran 20 minutes ago when you locked us into our truck, but now she's like, "Don't run." He never even attempted to look for her.
Never. This isn't Michael Myers.
He was living his best life after that. It's like he saw her out.
No, and then when he saw her, he was like, "Who the fuck are you?" I don't remember, but I'll cut
Bitch,
your
I'm
head
80
off.
years old. I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning. Oh, who I tried to kill? And he's killed so many people. So many nameless
Well,
people.
and then no cannibalism, no nothing. Like everything that was great about the original and terrifying.
No creepy family. No Sawyer family at all.
At all.
All in with this. The way he gets he busts his chainsaw out after this chainsaw has sat in a wall for 50 years.
Oh, and
Fires up.
Fires right up, man.
The gasoline would have been fucking gel.
Of course it would have.
That would have needed a lot of servicing. No chainsaws working that well, but that right there, though, just perfectly encapsulates the entire film.
Exactly. Just so lazy on every fucking front and every level.
Have him go to a store and pick up a chainsaw.
It's really not that difficult.
Have him work on it for 2 minutes.
Or how about this, dude? The guy who's got the big red truck after he kills him and he's doing the whole shit. Maybe that guy had a chainsaw on the back of his truck.
Not he worked in he had tools.
Yeah. So maybe he could have just picked the chainsaw off, which would have been a million times more believable than this hidden chainsaw for 50 years.
You don't gotta go. Again, I keep going back to how good they did the new Halloween. It's like they built. Remember the scene of him just getting the butcher knife?
Yep.
Was him going through the homes and the towns, and he went through all these other weapons.
Yep.
But they're like, we got to get chainsaw now. Chainsaw. And then he has it the entire time. This film sucked on so many levels.
Yeah.
We talked about it for 45 minutes. I'll never talk about this film again in my life.
It'll never be even
unless
an
I
afterthought.
meet David Blue Garcia and I run into him in the real world and I beat that man to a
And I
living
would just
pulp.
ask him one question, and it's a simple one.
He was the fall man, to be honest.
Yeah.
Probably
should not have taken that
I don't
job.
know. He might have been like a script reader for all of them. I mean, they're like, hey, we need someone.
Yeah.
You're in.
He's like, this is my opportunity. I got to do it. You do kind of feel bad for him if it was his first film and he was just like, yeah, that's a huge opportunity.
I had no idea who this guy was.
No, he doesn't even have a wiki. They scrubbed him off the internet.
There's no way he was. They brought him in to direct them. I mean, it was a week into shooting. I'm sure they just got someone on set.
Yeah, dude. I would actually like to know if he had ever directed anything before this, because it was just abysmally bad, Texas.
I know. I don't believe it, but who knows? What is the fate of Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Are we gonna get another one of these in 2 years? That's still horrible.
No, dude. Like, if it's made by the same company, like, I don't want to do it. I can't do it.
It's again. I mean, I want to write one just because I think do one like set it in the 90s or something. Do one where they have to go back to the house or something along the lines, or just show how he got away. Show anything, please.
I know.
This movie, it took it out of me.
I think he was. He's an Emmy award-winning director and cinematographer based in Austin, Texas.
I wish they would have stayed in Austin, Texas.
Wow.
He'll never work again.
No.
If it was up to me, this guy would never have a job again.
Terrible.
Yeah, this movie's bad. It's definitely already going to be on the top 10 worst list for sure. I mean, we just started the year.
I could not imagine a worse film than this. I can't. Like, for our top 10, you already heard it here, number 1.
It's only February. This is a
February.
perfect February movie, man, because this just shows how shitty February is, because holy hell.
Alrighty. Well, that is our review.
Would you recommend it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Just for how no, don't waste your fucking time. I'm not joking. Don't
Go
waste
back
your
and
time.
watch I would say go and watch
back
the
and
other
watch the
sequels.
original.
Go, for sure, watch the original.
I actually
watch
really
the other
enjoyed watching the original again. It's been some time
Original's
since I've
awesome.
seen it.
Original
Yeah.
is a legitimate good movie.
It's
and
a
a
great
legitimate scary movie.
And we will
and
review
a movie
that next.
that is still scary today.
Yeah.
So you could still do it in a way to where it could
It's
still be
scary
scary
today. Yeah, you would think. You would think.
Hire me, Netflix. Hire me with your endless money. I will do it for $20 an hour. Don't pay me salary.
Nope.
Give me
Give
hourly.
me hourly wage, and I'll make a better one than that. It's really not that hard. Alrighty, folks. That is our review for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 2022 film. You can find on Netflix.
Not
if you care to
the,
watch
just
it.
Texas Chainsaw.
Oh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
They
yes.
had to drop that, though.
That's right. Yeah, they should have dropped the whole thing.
Into the trash.
Yeah. If you like what's seen here, please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. Thank you so much for watching and listening. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Krause, and until next time.
Bye.